Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm the guy who robbed Peter to pay Paul, and Sony have released the first official poster for Spider-Man No Way Home. Yes, that's right ladies and gentlemen, Sony have starved us for content so long that we're now breaking down posters, but this is quite a good one when you look beneath the surface. It's full of Easter eggs, hidden details, and a lot of villains that we're going to be pointing out in this spoiler-filled video. If you start to stare at it long enough, you start to see more and more of them, start to see crazy villains. Villains that make you wonder if you've gone crazy. Now obviously the full spoilers ahead, but I am curious to know whether you like the poster, whether you think the entire thing has been far too overhyped, and if there's anything on it that we didn't talk about that you think we should have. With that out of the way, thanks for clicking this. Now let's get into our Spider-Man No Way Home poster breakdown. Okay, so this brand new poster is actually a slight variant of one that was spotted earlier in the week on the side of buses in Australia. A couple of people managed to grab some photos of it as it rolled through town, and on it there's a couple of little details that aren't actually on the newly released one. The first thing is that Spider-Man has his Iron Spider legs out, and we saw him unleashing these in the trailer just before he was about to fight Dr. Octopus. I'm guessing that these get ripped off, which is why Peter ends up doing his little run, little prance in the Empire images, though this could be happening just before the leg moment. Another detail that didn't make it to the one Sony dropped online is the Mirrorverse City, which we can see in the skyline. In the trailers we watched as Strange chased Peter through this dimension, and we could see it collapsing in on itself, which is also what appears to be happening on this poster. Now as for the official poster, we have Peter in the middle of it in his Iron Spider suit once more, but this time he's missing the legs. I just don't know what it is about this suit and why they keep forcing it on us, but I'm not a massive fan of it in all honesty. I think that in Infinity War, when it was mixed amongst all the alien and space stuff, that it looked cool and it worked really well with that aesthetic. However, when you place it in a normal everyday situation, it just looks a bit out of place, and I'm really hoping that it gets destroyed in the movie. Far From Home was about Peter making it on his own without Tony Stark's shadow looming over him, and he even created a new suit at the end, which was used in the final swing for the movie. Just seems a bit weird to go back to this thematically, and I actually think it would be cool if this was absorbed into Ock's tentacles during the film. In the Empire magazine photos, there was a shot released where we could see Doc Ock's tentacles had red and gold colouring in them, and this had a lot of people thinking that it could either be Stark tech or something else. I think it would be great if Ock absorbed the suit at some point, and the tech was then taken over by the AI in the arms, which then made him even stronger. If you look at the head crushing scene from the magazine, you might also notice that the arms are missing this gold and red colouring, so I think it might actually be a possibility. Now why I'm bringing this up is because the arms on the poster don't have this red and gold detail, and that kinda ties into our next villain that appears. That is the Green Goblin, who's wearing the classic suit that he had in the Raimi films. He's also got his purple glider with him, and the character is ripped right out of the first Spider-Man movie. Now this somewhat contradicts the costume concept art and the leaked shots of it that were dropped last week. I actually do believe that this suit is going to be in the movie, and if you saw some of the other photos that we can't really show in this video, then you'll know that either the costume was real and someone leaked them, or that someone put a lot of effort into making a fake costume that also looked extremely like the concept art that released at the same time. Now I had heard from a lot of people I trust before the leaks dropped that this would be what was shown in the movie, so I think that the helmet and classic costume might appear early on in it, and then it might get busted up and Goblin will have to use other things. According to leaks on the film, after the bridge scene, Norman Osborn goes to Feast and pretends to be a homeless person, which is when he comes face to face with Peter. He then apologizes for the bridge attack and explains that the villains Doctor Strange has locked up in the prison are gonna die if they go back to their homeworlds because they were killed by the Spider-Man of their realities. This guilt trips Peter into freeing them, which is why Strange chases him across New York. Take that with a pinch of salt as always, but that does make sense as to why Doc Ock's tentacles are different and why Goblin's suit appears like it does. Now if you've seen the leaked costume images of Dafoe, then you'll know he's wearing a sort of cagoule. Is it a cagoule? Anyway, he's wearing that over the costume without a helmet, so he might end up losing it, which is why he has to resort to the goggles. The goggles also look a lot like the ones that Doc Ock had in Spider-Man 2, so potentially he gave them to him because they're gonna be best buds. Now I find Goblin flying in unintentionally funny, but it's also a bit terrifying too. Feels like it was ripped right out of a classic cover, with him swooping in to kill Spider-Man. There's then the other villains that appear on the poster. No, it can't be. And if you look closely at the back, you can also catch some sand floating through the air, and this is of course the Sandman. We've known for a while that he's gonna be in the movie, and it was officially confirmed by Empire last week, who said in their article that Thomas Hayden Church would be reprising his role. Interestingly, leaks that are floating around about the movie say that Sandman might actually be somewhat of a good guy, and that he'll actually try and help Peter. This is why he seems to be helping him in the trailer at one point, as he blocks an electro blast that comes flying in. The guy probably still feels guilty about killing Uncle Ben, and Peter should probably still feel guilty about murdering that guy who did absolutely nothing wrong. You suck, Peter. Now if it isn't Sandman, then it could be a dead Peter as well. And speaking of Electro, you might also notice that there's a bolt of lightning on the poster, which looks like it might also confirm the villain. If we go back to the amazing movie Amazing Spider-Man 2, then in that Electro's blasts were blue, however it looks like they've changed things up for No Way Home and have moved him over to his more comic book accurate yellow. If you've seen the leaked costume images, then you'll have seen Jamie Foxx is wearing an electrical engineer's jacket, but I don't want to show that in this video in case it gets taken down for copyright reasons. What I can show though is a totally innocent selfie that a fan took with Fox whilst the movie may have been filming that shows him wearing a giant luminous coat. From what we've heard about the film, all the villains will be what if versions, and that's why the creative team can do things like change up the costumes and so on. Now weirdly, there's no Lizard on the poster, and not only was he shown in the first trailer for a split second, but he was also confirmed as being played by Rhys Ifans in the Empire article. Kind of feel sorry for the dude as he's been dropped from this poster, but maybe that's his face in the rubble. It just looks like someone I used to know. Now, I've also seen people say that the 3 rebarb wires confirm the 3 Spider-Man, which, yeah, no idea what you're talking about. I've also seen some people say that you can make out the reflection of Tobey Maguire's face in Doc Ock's tentacles, but I think that's just people seeing faces that aren't there. There's no hidden faces in this poster. None at all, so we just need to forget. Oh my god, that is Mephisto, that, I'm telling you that. Now obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and if you can spot the Lizard, if this gives you any theories about what's going on in the movie, and just what you thought about it overall. We are running a competition right now and giving away 3 copies of the Zack Snyder DC Trilogy on the 30th of November, and all you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the new look. We pick the comments at random at the end of the month, and the winners of the last one are on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at HeavySpoilers. If you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out our breakdown of Green Goblin's costume, which will be linked on screen right now. We also go over some brand new plot leaks from the movie, and talk about how it all plays into the film. If not, then thanks for sitting through this video. I've been Paul, you've been the best, and I hope you have a good week. You take care of yourself, I'm out. Peace.